This video was created to provide information for those wishing to learn about car insurance market in New York State. I will present you several official statistics and figures that will allow you to choose your car insurance in New York State. Before you start, remember to subscribe, it's free for you, but very important to me. Thank you very much for your generosity. In 2018, there were 434,596 traffic crashes on New York State roads, with 882 fatal car accidents and 121,989 people who were injured. In addition, although New York State has a very high number of traffic accidents each year, the rate of fatalities and serious injuries remains fortunately quite low. It is therefore on this basis that we will be able to begin our analysis of data concerning car insurance in New York State. First of all, you have to understand that the price of car insurance varies greatly depending on age. Indeed, teenagers tend to be charged more because they are generally the category of people who are the least experienced and who are involved in the most accidents in New York. Thereafter, the prices tend to fall according to age because people who start to be 30 years old, but also those of 40 or 50 years old, are those who have the fewest accidents because they have a lot of experience. Thus, having a good driving record can significantly lower the price of car insurance for people of this age. After age 70, drivers begin to age and experience diminished alertness. When driving on the roads, the price of insurance therefore tends to increase from the age of 70. There are different car insurance companies in New York State. All these companies have specific pricing for each customer based on their age, driving history, driving style, type of car, and many other criteria. Rates can therefore vary enormously between two car insurance companies. To find the right insurance company, it is important to get at least 3 quotes from different insurers. According to experts, doing this allows you to compare prices, offers and associated services and the characteristics of insurance before making your final choice. We can now take a look at various statistics concerning car accidents in New York State. Indeed, these elements will make it easier for us to understand the importance of the car insurance market and how it is possible to reduce the annual price of your car insurance as much as possible. In New York, distraction is the main cause of car accidents for 34% of them. This category includes elements such as mobile phones. Then come improper turning with 16% of car accidents. We also find improper passing, drowsiness, driving under the influence of alcohol, as well as driving without authorization. Speed is not one of the main car accident causes in New York because some cities like New York City do not have major roads allowing you to take a lot of speed. A person who has committed one of these offenses will automatically have a much higher car insurance price than a driver who has never had this type of cause that can induce an accident more easily. A good way to pay less for your car insurance is therefore simply to be a good driver who does not drive too fast, who is not distracted, and who does not drive when he has drunk alcohol. Every day in New York State, there are around 1,190 car accidents occurred. That's about 4 accidents every 5 minutes. That it is very important in just one state. This can be explained by the number of cars that pass each other every day in large cities and are more likely to cause accidents. This figure reveals the importance of road accidents in New York and therefore the need to have car insurance that allows you to be covered in the event of bodily injury or material damage. A very interesting indicator is the fact that despite the large number of accidents, the proportion of fatal accidents is only 0.22%, which remains well below other states. There were exactly 24 fatal crashes per day in New York. In addition, 72% of accidents that occur only result in material damage and therefore no one is injured. These data express the importance of road accidents in New York State every day. This also explains why insurance companies apply such high prices in their contracts. Car insurance rates vary greatly in different cities in New York. Although the city of New York City has a much higher average car insurance price than others, the state of New York generally does not have very high car insurance prices. New York, with an average contract price of $4.959, is 114% above the average prices that are set across the state. The state of New York therefore stands out from other states by the city of New York, which applies very high car insurance prices compared to other cities in the state such as Buffalo, Albany, or Syracuse. Most metropolitan areas also tend to have a higher cost of living, meaning the costs of car components like doors or wheels and labor to assemble parts and repair them are more expensive, as is medical care. The gender type criteria is often put forward by insurance companies in order to adjust the rates of car insurance contracts. Indeed, men tend to be the most involved in car accidents because they are likely to engage in risky behavior. Thus, some insurance companies prefer to predict accidents by charging more expensive car insurance contracts for men. If you are a man, it is therefore possible that you will have to pay a little more for your car insurance than women. As we have said before, having good driving on the roads is one of the best ways to reduce your insurance costs. When you are subject to traffic tickets, accidents, or convictions for impaired driving, insurance companies are more likely to consider you a risky driver. So, these kinds of convictions such as speeding tickets and at-fault accidents can dramatically increase your annual insurance rates because the insurance company will take a lot more risk to insure you if you are a bad driver. Impaired driving is arguably the most serious offense for insurance. A case of driving under the influence such as alcohol can cost you thousands of dollars a year in premiums and insurance costs and can stay on your driving record for life in New York. This means that you will always pay more for insurance than other drivers. The total amount people are willing to pay for car insurance also depends on the cost of living in the state of New York. As we can see from the graph, car insurance represents only 58% of the total expenses of the population in New York. The most important expense being the rent or the repayment of the housing loan. Next come expenses for children such as healthcare, school, and other toys to buy. There is of course food and property tax, which represents an important part of family expenses. It is important to manage your budget well and note all these expenses to be sure to pay for car insurance that is not too expensive and above our budget. There are two different types of rates for car insurance in New York. Indeed, there is a minimum insurance with basic insurance services and which is therefore mandatory to drive safely. The average annual minimum coverage premium for car insurance in New York is $1,062 at minimum. In addition, it is also possible to subscribe to a full coverage car insurance, which thus makes it possible to be insured against many problems related to the possession of a car such as broken car windows or theft. It is also possible to be protected against certain accidents with specific causes. In New York, the average annual full coverage premium for car insurance is around $2,321. The credit score is very important in the pricing of the insurance contract. This is valid for all insurances. Indeed, if a driver's credit score is low, the price of his car insurance will tend to increase sharply because he will be much more likely to have driving problems. Insurance companies therefore anticipate that the person with a bad credit score will be more likely to make claims and ultimately cost the insurance company more money. Credit score rates are therefore based on the risk that the insurance company takes to insure a bad driver and the likelihood that he will be involved in a traffic-related problem. To obtain car insurance coverage, drivers must also pay third-party liability charges used by the insurance in the event of bodily injury or property damage resulting from an accident. These costs are therefore divided into bodily injury per person, bodily injury but also property damage per accident, and finally costs related to mandatory no-fault coverage. Don't hesitate to put a like under the video and write a comment to tell me how much you pay for your car insurance. Also remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel and watch the other videos on the YouTube channel. Have a very good day and see you soon.